What's up, Facebook fam? It is Tuesday, and you know what goes down here on Tuesday. Wife Chat with Dr. Gail goes down here on Tuesday. So do me a favor and make sure that you're hitting the share button and let all my one sexy wife know that Wife Chat is going down here. Hi, Johanna. How are you? Thank you so much for joining me. You guys, thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate it. I took off last Tuesday, so I'm back this Tuesday. And so I hope you guys are having an amazing, amazing day. Thank you guys so much. I truly appreciate you guys for joining me. I hope you guys are starting to enjoy your summer. Things are opening back up. Again, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you're hitting the share button, letting all my 160 wife know the wife chat is going down here. And tonight's topic is near and dear to my heart. I get the opportunity to talk to wives from all over the world and literally coach them in their marriages and help them get to a better space. And a lot of couples, I've been engaging with a lot of couples, and I wanted to come on here and give you, five most important things in a marriage, right? And a lot of this stuff is not rocket science, but if you have been married for any length of time, most of the time we don't apply a lot of the things that we know, or a lot of things that we've done in the past, right? Hello, everybody. Thank you guys so much. Good evening. Good evening from Tobago. Amen. Amen. Again, thank you guys so much for joining me. But a lot of times we get complacent. We don't know to apply these things. We are tired. There has been so many things going on in the marriage where you're just like ready to throw up your hands and throw in the towel and do all of those things. And trust me, I come from a standpoint of not judgment. I come from a standpoint of understanding. Um, I've been at this 33 years on July the 20th. Woo, woo, thank you, Jesus. And trust and believe me, Gil, I have been on the brink of twice. When I say brink, I mean literally brink. I mean papers already drawn up and lawyers' fees already, whatever. So I understand. I truly understand. And I started doing this work because everywhere I turned, nobody was there to really help me. Everybody just told me to pray. And don't get me wrong, I understand prayer works. If you follow me, you know that I'm a woman of God. I love God. I know He can do anything. But sometimes when you're living in this flesh, and you didn't prayed and you didn't did everything, you need somebody to take you by your hand and give you some good, solid advice. And so tonight I want to talk to you about the five most important things in marriage, right? The five most important things in marriage, right? And a lot of times, like I said, we take these things for granted. We don't do them effectively because of all the other stuff that we have invading our minds, the hurt, the all of these different kind of things. And I can name 1,000 of them that I can do. But the first thing is mutual respect. Mutual respect for one another. And as the pandemic hit and people are coming out of the pandemic, let me just tell you, mutual respect in households took a big hit during the pandemic because so many people had been sweeping things under the rug. So many people had forgotten how to communicate. So many people were just taking each other for granted. And let me just tell you, having mutual respect for one another, right? And not hitting below the belt and listening to understand and not to respond, and all of those things are at hand. And so if you are a person that have lost respect for yourself and lost respect for your spouse, it's really time for you to sit down and really dig deep and figure out what is the root cause that you have lost respect for yourself and lost respect for your spouse. And the reason why I say that you lost respect for yourself. Because if your spouse is saying things and doing things to belittle you, and you are allowing it to happen, and you are not standing up for yourself, saying this hurts me or whatever, or you are spewing things and you're cutting and hitting below the belt, then that is a respect thing. And you need to really fix that. And you need to figure out where that came from. So that's number one. Number two is effective communication, right? And what I'm finding is that a lot of times we are communicating to get our point across, but we're not communicating to understand the other person's side of things, right? Communication is the key to any relationship in this world. It is. Communication is the key to any relationship in this world, and especially in your marriage. And as I, have been doing this work for 18 years now, the thing is that when communication has broke down in a marriage, I can tell you that every area of the marriage has broken down. The sex life has broken down, finances has broken down, the children has broken, every aspect of that entire family is broken down if communication is not effective, right? And you can say, no, we have great sex, and our finances is good, we just can't talk. No, you can't. Yes, you can have sex without communicating, but at the end of the day, it is not something that is pleasurable, because you want to be able to communicate your needs, your wants, and desires. So you can't tell me that, right? And so again, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. Make sure that you put in the chat where you're from. I already know I have somebody from Tobago. Thank you so much. But just put in the chat where you're listening from, and if these tips are helping you, and just giving you something to think about. That's the reason why I do Wife Chat, because a lot of times information is coming to me, questions are asked, and if I don't have any questions, or if I've answered them in a previous chat, I will go with what is most pressing, what God gives me to give you. So communication is number two. Number three is healthy boundaries, right? A lot of us are living in households where we don't have boundaries, right? And it's okay to have boundaries in your marriage, right? Boundaries that are healthy for you, healthy for your spouse, healthy for your children, healthy in just every area of your life, right? And I am a strong component. People only do to you and treat you how you allow them to treat you. And that's all the way from your children to your mother to, whoever, your friends, right? And the thing is if you don't have healthy boundaries, people will do and say anything to you, right? And I am a very timely person. And so for me, time is valuable, right? And time is something you can never get back. And so with my friends, with my husband, with my children, with my clients, I am very timely. And so for me, that is a boundary. And if we're going to go somewhere and you're going to be late, I deserve a phone call. If I'm going to be late, you deserve a phone call. Same way with Gail. If I'm running late to meet him or whatever, he's running late, he respects that, because those are boundaries that we want to cross, because I don't want people to take advantage of my time, because like I said, I can make more money, I can make more friends, I can do all of these things, but I can never get back time, right? And that's just one of my small boundaries that I don't allow anybody just to take me for granted. And in a marriage, it is healthy to have boundaries. It's healthy to say, when I'm on a 10, my boundary is I don't want to hit below the belt. I don't want to say things to you that is going to damage you as a person. So I'm going to walk away until I'm able to have a conversation. That's one of my boundaries, because I know my mouth can be a lethal weapon, right? And I used to hit below the belt, and I used to say things and then want to half apologize for them, but they was very damaging to my husband or very damaging to my children, right? So now I set healthy boundaries for myself. And Gil set healthy boundaries. Like when you get on a 10 and you get to wanting to say crazy thing to me, we're going to end the conversation until we can sit down like two adults and you not hit below the belt. That is a healthy boundary for him. It's a healthy boundary for me. And then therefore I don't have to do all of this apologizing that and taking back things, because you can only say I'm sorry. You can never take them back once they're said, right? And so again, setting healthy boundaries, and I'm just using myself and that one scenario as a situation. But what are the boundaries that you need to set? Do you need to set that, when you call me fat, or when or say, oh, you're out of shape, or you're not attractive, that hurts me. So I don't choose to allow you to say those things to me. What are your boundaries? And if you don't have not set them, and you have not said that to your spouse, then that's the reason why you're going to continue around that circle and not get the results that you want. Number 4 is trust. Now, our first mind as married women and men, whoever's watching this, our first thing is to go to infidelity, right? That's our first thing. Can I trust you not to go sleep with somebody else or have an emotional affair? That's part of trust, right? But when you got married, right, you got married to your soulmate. And no matter how bad your marriage is or how great your marriage is, if something was to happen to you, can you trust your spouse enough with your life to make life altering decisions? And so many people that I have talked to and coached say, oh, I don't trust them because they cheated on me. And I understand that's a component. But at the end of the day, as long as you're legally married, that person is responsible for you if you was to become incapacitated. And the question is, can you trust them with your life? And can they trust you with theirs? Puts a whole different light on what I'm talking about, right? Because you're in a marriage. So when you look at trust, look at it in a bigger picture, not just the infidelity thing. And that's huge. Can I trust you or whatever? But can you trust your spouse with your life? And if you're questioning that, that is a huge red flag. And you need to get to the root cause of that, right? And number five is a big one. Are you able to support one another in your dreams, your goals, and your aspirations? Are you able to support them? Right? And a lot of times it's hard, especially if they have been down a rabbit trail, or you have been down a rabbit trail where you have started something in an entrepreneur's way, or you've started other tasks or started other projects and you have not finished them. And they put, resources into you and pepped you up and all of these different things, and they continue to fail because you didn't have the right proper game plan, you didn't have the training, or you went into it and realized that you didn't want to do it. Whatever that is, are you able to rely on your spouse as a support system? And are you a support system for your spouse? And I get so many people, and I have a really good girlfriend that deals with married women, Deidre, she deals with married women and her wife, CEO group, right? And a lot of times she was saying that a lot of wives feel like they're not being supported, right? And we had this great discussion. Why do they feel that they're not being supported? And a lot of times it's because when you come to a man, and I'm just going to speak from a woman's side, because I understand that there's a lot of men that start a lot of stuff and don't complete it and drop the ball and stuff, just as we do. But a lot of times we as women, we see something on Facebook, or we see that somebody else possesses a skill or possesses something that you're familiar with, and we want to make it into a business, right? But we don't think it all the way through, and we put our hard-earned money and all our stuff, and then we say, oh, that didn't work. And then your spouse is like, okay. And then you're like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. But how can you support that when there's no game plan and there's no fruit, right? Same way with your spouse, same way with our husbands. Sometimes you're like, wait a minute, you want to be a 40-year-old rapper. How many 40-year-old rappers are successful? He could be the first. What is your game plan? What are you doing? Whatever that is. But at the end of the day, can you be supportive of your spouse's dreams, aspirations, and truly be a cheerleader and not be tearing them down on the sidelines when you're saying that you're cheering for them? And when you are able to really look at the 5 things that I have given you tonight: respect, communication, boundaries, trust, and support, right? When you look at your marriage and step outside of all the other things that you have dealt with in your marriage and you have went through and you have conquered, and some you have not, because everybody has a different spectrum. If you look at these components, if you can master these 5, you can get through absolutely anything. If you can literally pinpoint where you went wrong or what you need to implement and how you need to get stronger in any of these 5, your marriage will be a lot stronger. You will be a lot stronger. You will be one accord when it comes to being married. And my prayer is that these things will help you, give you something to think about. And again, you guys know that I'm an open book. I love you guys to pieces. I thank you so much for always supporting anything that I do. I have some amazing things coming up that I'm working on, and I'll be putting them out there. Again, I've been asked so many times, you guys know at the beginning of the year, I was going to do BSB, but I got really sick and had to have surgery and all those kind of things. But guys, heal me. I am 100%. And I'm so grateful for all the support, all the love, and everything that everybody told me. Good evening. How are you, Lenora? And so, again, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you need me, you know how to contact me. You can hit me up here on any of my social media platforms. You can visit my website, gailcrowder.com. If you want me to answer anything on Wife Chat, just shoot me a DM, and I will never mention your name, but I will say this is so-and-so from so-and-so, or whatever, but I won't ever mention your name. And so I appreciate you guys. I love you guys to pieces. Have an amazing, amazing night. If you need me, I am here.